try to be as visual as I can with my words. But I really want to thank all of you for giving me the opportunity to speak. As Cammie said, I learned from all of you, so I hope that I can give back today. And what I'm going to do is share some of the systems that I've developed this past year that have helped my new and struggling directors transition a little bit more smoothly to their role as a leader of a director team. And what I was finding is my directors that were getting ready to promote would work so hard in the month prior to their promotion, and then once they promoted and arrived, they quit doing everything that they did to get there. Like, I know none of you have had that problem, but more specifically, doing shows and recruiting. And what my goal was, my vision was, how can I help them celebrate that success and then celebrate months of continued growth? So that was my goal. And so my first step was to find out why they were losing their focus and their momentum. And they were so excited about the promotion, and then when they got back to work, it just all fizzled and went away. But the one common issue that they all voiced was, well, now we have this team that we have to train, and we don't know how to train them. So they took their focus off of their personal business because they were so worried about this team that they weren't even training, and so nothing happened. So I thought, this is what I really need to do. I really need to focus on how to get them to transition into feeling confident when they got to director that they knew how to work with them. And when I started that, I found out there was two challenges that they all had that prevented them from moving forward. And one is they didn't believe that they could do it, so they had a crack in that pillar. They didn't feel like they could help anybody become successful because they were just working on that themselves. And the second is they didn't feel that they had the skill. They didn't know how to do it. And a lot of my directors were neuro consultants themselves, so they were still working on their own skills, and so they didn't know how to go from teaching, learning it themselves to teaching it to others. So as Judy mentioned, as Sharon mentioned, that in order to be successful, you have to have all four of those balanced. So I knew in any program that I was going to develop that I needed to work on strengthening their pillars. So I started with the belief, and I started with the belief and skill. It's late, right? The belief and the skill, so they could start to move forward. So looking at belief first, you have a consultant that just promoted to a new level that has new responsibilities, and there's a lot of things that they need to learn to do, doing a lot of coaching and training. So we have to do the same thing with them as we do with our new consultants. We have to believe in their success until their belief catches up. And that means you have to work with them and kind of keep them by your side until they start to experience some success. And then what happens is then their success takes off, they become strong, and that they can move forward. Skill, we have to have an extremely simple system that our directors can use to train new consultants. And it has to be simple and it has to be duplicatable. So what I started with was new consultant training. Most of them had new consultants, and new consultant training teaches all the basics. So that's where I started. Earlier this year, I embraced the 72-hour strong start. And for a couple of reasons, it was a system that I had been using for a couple of years, and it has proven to be a very successful system. But the way that this program is laid out, it is so easy to duplicate. So is everybody used it yet, or I can just tell you what the two calls are? Is anybody not? Is anybody not done with the 72-hour strong start? You haven't? Okay. So the first call, there's a series of two calls. The first call deals with getting to know the consultant, setting their grand opening date. It goes over the new consultant rewards program, the importance of scheduling 6 shows in their first 30 days, generating a list of people to call. You guys are going to get all of this. Generating a list of who to call, using the Frank's list, and words I'll choose to get those bookings on the calendar. and then you end with a goal of how many they're going to schedule. The second call is check up on the first, and then you go over the income possibilities, getting a promotion to raise in their first 30 days, looking at the Grow With Us, and then the 15-minute recruiting lesson, which is easy words on how they can approach someone about the business without feeling pushy. It's an amazing, amazing call system. And the second one has the fast track program as well. So what I did is I took these 2 calls and I developed 3 emails for the consultant and 2 emails for the leader. And they are in Evernote. And so if you don't have Evernote, get it before you leave. Because I'm giving you guys all the links to the calls that I've already developed. And all you have to do is create an account, save them to your account, and then change my name to your name, and then take out the things that you don't like what I did and change them to yourself, and then all of a sudden everything is yours. Okay? So I am very, I have a very, very simple brain. If it's too complex, I can't do it, and then I can't teach it to everybody else, and my brain is like a blender. So since we've been doing this, it's been working. So this is what you guys are going to be getting. Okay, the first email I sent, and I tried to simplify it because the first call was a little long, especially for some of my directors who work full-time, and it's a lot of getting to know you. So as soon as the recruit signs, I either email, text, and I set up a call. When are you available in the next 24 to 48 hours so I can, connect with you for a phone call? Then I send them the getting to know you before our first call email. And it confirms the time of the call, and there's some getting to know you questions on there that, just like you work full-time, tell me about your family. So I know a little bit about them before I even go on that call. And I tell them they're going to be getting the first email. There's 3 things that they need to do before we talk, and then we'll just have the call. So on this first email, it has 3 things that they have to do. The first thing is to schedule their grand opening date. Because I want them to already be looking at their calendar and having that date in mind. And the most successful consultants schedule 7 to 10 days after they order their kit. The second thing is to start their Franks list. So I attached the Franks list. I want them to already start brainstorming on names. We can continue it, but I want that to be started. And the third thing, to take their calendar and mark off all the dates that they cannot do shows, so that we already have that done. Okay? So we go into the call. There's a couple, I'll talk a little bit more about them in detail about themselves, but it doesn't take a whole long time. It has a screenshot of the new Consultant Rewards Program. There's a little thing that Lori Monahan developed for Love and I. It just shows Pamper Chef possibilities, which is amazing, so that's yours as well. It goes into the importance of scheduling 6 shows, and then it has all of the little words pasted right on that document. So as they're referencing this, I can do it on the phone. They have everything in front of them. It has the Franks list. It's got objections, how to deal with objections, with the field felt found. It's all right there. So then the second email is 48 hours after that one. It's a follow-up. How many bookings were you able to secure? And then it goes into the Grow With Us. It's a snapshot. You go down to the fast track. It's a screenshot. And then you go all the way down, and it has the recruiting lesson. So that's what the new consultant gets. So then the leader, what they get, is the exact same email with every single word that they ever need to say to the new consultant. It's written out word for word. If you don't like my words, change them to your words. You will not hurt my feelings. So on here, on that first sheet that's on your, and what we'll do, we'll post the links on the executives. All you have to do is click on them instead of typing them in. So you've got all 3 calls here, and then the leader calls are there. Okay, so is that simple enough?
Whoa.
All right. So this is how I use it when I train a new recruit. New recruit, somebody signs up a new recruit. We're on the phone together. I do the call. The recruiter is on there as well, and they listen to me. They get the leader email, and they're following along, and they're hearing what I said. They sign up another consultant, and we go all through it again. So they hear it as soon as they feel like they're comfortable. I say, do you want to go ahead and do it the next time? So all they have to do is read. It's just very, very simple. Okay, so if you want simple, send it to me. I'll figure it out. With my directors, because I had a lot that were struggling, what we did is we took either a new recruit on their team or somebody who wanted to restart the business, because this is all basics. So I had the director on the phone, and I had the recruit on the phone. If there was a recruiter in between, we were all on a conference call together. So everybody had the leader guide, and we all went through it together. So everybody has the links. Everybody on my leadership team has Evernote. As soon as someone signs somebody, they get Evernote, and they get all the links. So it's all right there. So that, and you got questions at the end. So that really works. So then, what we found was those 2 calls were really awesome, but then after that, it was like I had a series of calls I was sending them. I couldn't remember to send them, and I just felt like everything was lost. And then they went to the website. Okay. Well, because then they got distracted. There was a lot of stuff on there. So this next thing that you guys have the link to is everything that I want them to go to with direct links to every single place on the website where I think they need to go. So as long as they're logged in, they don't have to go find it, and then it maybe kind of keeps them focused. The first 2 sections, the first one is everything I go over on the first call. So they have all the links that they need. The Frank's list, if they want the words to book a show, everything's on this one page. The second, and I think this was shared last year on the PowerPoint, I think that this comparison chart is the best thing in the entire world, because it does not show percentages, but it shows them how many shows they do and how much money they can make and how everything's based on numbers. Higher show average, more orders, you make more money. And then it goes into everything. Yeah, that was amazing. I mean, I give it to all my consultants laminated. It's awesome. Thank you, thank you. And then all the links at the second call. Then the third thing is I want them to do the things that they always forget to do. Is I want them to go, and there's the Succeed With Us link, the checklist, the direct link to the order payment account and direct deposit, the direct link to setting up their website, the web tool trainings, the business building kit, and then they go to the online training center. So they don't have to go search, but this is how I coach them. So what have you done so far? And so I know at 30 days if they don't have their, it's not a surprise if they haven't done their payment account. And then on the back, because everybody says, I want to learn how to do a show, I need to learn. So the next part is everything they need to know to how to do a show. It goes right to the station show videos, which are awesome. And then there's an overview, which is just an outline. I did a little bit more detailed outline where I have exactly what they say to sell a rock, exactly what they say about a manual food processor, exactly what they say to sell a bar stove in that first, intro, okay? And then the questions and answers for the ticket activity are linked right on there. There's a cooking show guide that I thought was good. It's not really up to date with the station style, but it still has some good stuff on it. And then the show outline cards are on there. Doreen, whoever said that, I love those. So I linked them on there as well. And then the product, I wanted them to go to product training, so I linked that as well. So if they follow this, they'll just go to the places that are going to help them learn to do a show. And then host coaching, I'm still working on that, but I did a host coaching training call, which is just a recorded call I did with one of my, it was a role play. So I used that to help them learn how to talk to a host. So you guys can all have that link as well. And then I put the policy guide on there. So this has really helped my new directors feel like they have a system for training new consultants or struggling consultants, get them back on there. Everything is in one place so they don't feel like everything is scattered. So the ones that are using this are moving forward and they're feeling comfortable. And that's what I like. And what I'm finding is by the time they're getting to directorship, they're like, oh, we don't need you. We know what we need to do, which is okay. Now, then the other pillar is will. The ones that are going to do it are going to do it. I mean, that's them. I can only do so much. And if they're willing to do it, they will see success with this. So it's, I hope that helps you. I hope that makes you feel a little
First of all, thank you so much for sharing. I mean, the information that she has just put in your hands is priceless. I actually printed out everything she sent you. It's like 48 pages total. And I would tell every one of you to take this, what she sent you, to take the time, print it out, put it in a binder, and read it. She spent a lot of time creating systems that are obviously working with her team, and her willingness to share with everyone in this room is, to me, absolutely amazing. So what I want to do right now is I want to open up to Q&A for Tanya before we bring up Barbara, because they're kind of talking about a couple different subjects here. So anyone have any questions? We need a mic. Who's in the room there? Sharon?
A so basic question, I'm almost embarrassed, but I'm not a techie. So you have Evernote, they get Evernote. How do you get this from there to there?
Okay, what it is, it's very easy. You have a link, okay? And you're going to click on, how do you set it up, or how do they get it into their Evernote?
I need transfer from one.
Okay, that's what I thought she was asking. If you click on the link and you have an Evernote account, okay, you click on the link, you'll see it, and it'll say add to Evernote at the top right. So you click on it, it adds it to your Evernote, so you can put it in whatever folder you want, and then you can change it. It's yours. If you don't have it and you click on it, you can sign up for Evernote. Okay, and so anything that anybody shares, you can just add it to your own, and then when you email it out from Evernote, it comes from you, not from me.
Well, Evernote basically is a group sharing page that you can share with anyone.
When you do that, does it, the tags you put on it, do those tags transfer with it? Do we have to assign our own?
You need to sign your own tags, yeah.
You mean the tiny URL?
No.
If she said tagging, what I assume the tags were like I put it in this notebook, and these are the 3 things that if I put in there, it'll bring it up.
But these tiny URLs.
I'm not sure it's going to take it to your notebook. I think it'll take it to this one. It'll take it to this original one. When you put it in yours, I think you're going to get a different URL. Because if I have to take all of these out and move them to a separate folder where I don't touch them, because if I change them and you guys go on there, you'll get the updated ones. And so I don't want to start writing notes because every time, like, if I have a new recruit, her name's Tiffany, and I said, hi, Tiffany, I'm looking forward to a call that's scheduled on, Friday at 3. It stays that way. So then if you guys go to that link, that's what you're going to see. So I'll keep these that I gave you, like, in a place I never touched them.
Tanya, I think I got confused. Just how many calls do you teach them to go over with on this?
2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask a follow-up to Tanya? Because you and I have chatted a little bit. Those are the first two. It's not like you never talked to those people yet.
Oh, no. No. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Come on, those are the 2 basic calls. But the problem is that they didn't know what to talk about after. So then you can talk about the show. So what have you what have you gone over as far as learning how to do a show? Is your payment account done? What kind of questions you have? Are you ready to kind of do your first station show? So based on this, I know what they're going over, and my directors know to go over this stuff also.
Okay, anyone else? We had a request for this table. Pam, you're going to be next. They're missing 1 set pass out, so if there's any extras, if you could bring it over here to Dottie's table, that would be so appreciative. Okay, Pam?
Oh, thank you.
I'm curious, and this might not be the right place for this question, but I was thinking when I was listening to Tammy as well. So we have these consultants, and you're training them, and you're asking them to do all these activities. How do you track them? How do you manage that part of your business?
What are you tracking? Like what they're going over with on the calls or the follow-up calls?
What have they actually done, and when do I need to call them again?
Okay, so what I do is I have another notebook called coaching calls, and as soon as somebody signs, and I just copy all their information, like the 30-day end date, all of that into a note. Okay, in Evernote, it's their coaching, so that's their folder. So I document everything that we talk about and what their homework is, what they said their goal was, and when the follow-up date is, and I take that follow-up date and I put it on my calendar. So everything is very simple, and if, then I go right back to the note and tell me how that went, were you able, how many bookings were you able to secure, how many, calls have you made?
Is that helpful, Pam?
It's not, you don't have a hard copy, it's all on your computer?
You know what, I'm on this paperless.
Really?
Yeah, can you believe me?
So if they call you randomly on a not scheduled call,
Well,
the computer to log all that in?
if they call me on a not scheduled call, you can pull Evernote up from anyway, or I'll just take a little note and then I'll go add it later. But this has been really good because I've scheduled calls with them, so I'm not getting as many calls, like frantic calls that I used to get. They are really good. And I have a call system that they can sign up for calls as well if they need me, so the ones that that are out there, that works because then I'm not the one that's always having to go out and make the appointments.
Yeah. And I think if you ever have a chance to speak with Candy Cruz, you'll find that she will tell you just exactly what you just heard here from Tanya. Everything is scheduled. So anyone else? All right, well, let's give it up for Tanya.